forest is not to be managed almost, I think, as much as you let it grow by itself it'll know what to do. Management I always think of in terms of for some specific purpose. And, I don't really manage it for one specific purpose. In other words, if I wanted the maximum biomass, I could clear cut everything and plant a monoculture of pines and not plant them in rows so I could harvest them quicker. But by leaving it at least semi to its own, the forest has a lot of choice to do what it knows best how to do, and which is regrowth. But it will regrow what is most efficiently growing here. Yeah, I get a lot of pleasure by planting seeds, so to speak, looking at things and seeing how they develop. I've always planted, I think wherever I've lived, I've always, like I planted those chestnuts up there. I'm not sure if American chestnuts actually came this far north, but they were certainly a dominant part of the forest of the northeast or the east. And then, of course, the chestnut blight took them all, what's that, about 100 years ago. And so I planted these here because there weren't any others around, and I figured there might not be any disease here either. So it was just kind of an experiment, although these were bred for partial resistance to the blight. So anyway, so far they're doing really great. So here's one right next to the cabin, and I'll show you a couple more. And then I'll show you some that I planted. Yeah. And it's just starting to leaf out now. They're very late in leafing out compared to most of the other trees. And here you see all the fruit. There's even a nut. Well, here this is a non-fertilized nut. So here these are all infertile ones. Not enough pollination. But see how these flanges open up like this? So in the fall they open up, and then the blue jays can get them. They put them in their gulab pouch, like in their throat, and then they spit them back out, and they dig a little hole and put them in. I wanted to get pollination, but later on I discovered what was happening was the jays got most of the nuts before they fell, and I wasn't there at the right time. And so all the infertile ones fell in, and there weren't any, and they had to be there at the right time. But they come in and they grab them and carry them all over the place. I like to favor some of the more rarer trees. It's kind of insurance. Look what happened to the elms. They were all killed. Look what's happening to the ash now. They're all being killed. If you have all kinds of different trees, you're always going to have something. And who knows? Maybe something's going to come and take the maples. I don't know. Or the white pine. The blister rust took a lot of them. I always think it's better to have more species of trees. With onset of climate change, for example, here I've got more southerly trees like the chestnuts and the oaks. I spread the oaks around, so there's going to be a little bit more diversity here, and maybe some of these will grow a little bit better once it warms up. So I think the spruce and the fir are going to go down. They're not going to grow so well, and some of these other trees will. Thinking maybe we can go down here into the deciduous forest here.
And what is this here?
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, another red maple. A red oak, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to leave that one there?
Yeah, another one there. Here's one I definitely did not plant. Another oak, probably planted by blue jays. Nice beach. Nice to see these beach coming in. A lot of places, the beach have a disease here too. This year was a good year for beech, and I think it's been at least 10 years or so there hasn't been any beech nuts to speak of at all. And this year there were quite a lot of the trees had nuts. But if you go through the forest up here, in areas where there are no adult beech trees, you now see young beech trees all over the place, and they're all about the same age. In fact, I took the growth rings of them this winter, and they were all about 10, 12 years old. So there must have been a big mast year about 10, 12 years ago. And the theory is that that these seeds are so good to eat that all the animals like to eat them. However, if there's one tree that has beech nuts in 1 year and the others don't, then all the animals will get all the seeds, and none of them the tree will be seeded. But if the trees all seed together, then the predators will be satiated, and there'll all be some left over, and they'll go hide it all over the place, and then some of them will sprout into trees. So here, the stump rots, and it's a good spot for, in this case, a whole bunch of, here's a spruce, there's a fir, and a couple of more spruce, a bunch of little tiny spruce. So anyway, a whole bunch of trees are growing right on top of the stump. So again, a red spruce, very atypical right here.
Why is this?
Well,
Why is this atypical?
It's a remnant of probably a remnant of conifer forest here. I'll show you places where near the top of the hill where there are a lot of them.
But this is unusual because it's lower down.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing pretty well.
But the thing is, it's probably not going to be replaced.
By another spruce.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because the other stuff is going to grow up faster.
Okay.
That's why I got the stepladder there, because I've been photographing the nest of a blue-headed vireo.
Oh, cool.
Well, you see that nest right there? Oh yeah, the bird's on there. I can see the head peeking out.
You think I should try?
Yeah, why not? You want me to hold it?
Yeah.
It's okay, bird. It's okay. He's not going to hurt you. The white stuff on the bottom is down feathers from the insulation of the hawk. I saw the bird up there, but when I was watching the woodpecker, he was going picking up birch bark from the tree, flying down this way. So,
Wow.
found it.
How do you find these things? I mean, really.
Just keep your eyes open, that's all.
That was fabulous.
Anyway, here's an example of my attempt at forest management, which was a total failure.
Okay.
See those maple trees sticking up?
Uh-huh.
And see how they're dying?
Oh.
And see all that balsam fir coming in?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at one time I cleared all of this out so just to leave the sugar maples, and I wanted to make the sugar maples grow and get a nice sugaring grove of the maples that were already here, which were fairly big. And now they're, the forest wants to be fir here.
Wow. So the best laid plans.
Yeah, and so all of that was wasted, really.
Yeah. So what's the lesson there?
Well, if I'd have just let it go, what would have happened was we would have had a lot more balsam fir, and they wouldn't have been this big. They would have been this big, and I could make a harvest of balsam fir now. But these aren't big enough to harvest, and those are too dead for sugaring.
Oh.